Hello, Moore County students. Hope you're having a good summer. It's hard to see my face because Beanie's here, but this is my therapy dog, Beanie, and if you've heard us read books, you're familiar with Beanie. I like to pick at her and say she's a little ham because she really likes to be on camera. And today we want to read a book to you, and it's called Call the Horse Lucky. And it's about a horse, not a dog or a cat this time. So we'll go ahead and read this, and then I have some important information I want to tell you at the end, how to better take care of your pet. So we're going to read the story, Call the Horse Lucky. Mel saw the horse first. Look, Grandma, a pinto. We didn't see a horse out here last fall. Grandma shook her head. I haven't ridden here since then. He's all alone. Mel wanted the horse to look up or maybe even to trot toward them, but he didn't move. And here's the picture of Mel and her grandma and the horse. On the ride back to Grandma's house, Mel said, I wish I could have a horse. That night, Mel dreamed about the pinto in the corral on the country road. The next day, Mel rode back to the corral with carrots in her pocket. Hey, boy, Mel called. The horse didn't raise his head. Eyes half closed, he stood like a skinny statue with a bony back and ribs that stuck out. He didn't swish his tail or shake his head to flick off the swarm of flies crawling on his rump, legs, and face. Mounds of smelly mud lay all around him. You could see the ribs. Look how thin that little horse is. He looks so neglected. Beanie's going to play with her piggy while we read the story today. Mel waved a carrot. The horse closed his eyes as if to gain strength. Slowly he shuffled toward the fence. It hurt Mel to watch him move. Maybe she shouldn't have brought the carrots, but she held one out and waited. After a while, the horse took the carrot. While he chewed, Mel reached out to touch his face. His red-rimmed eyes looked sunken. Mel knew something was very wrong. And there she is trying to pet him, and he looks so sad. Mel blinked back tears when she described the horse to Grandma. We have to help him. After Grandma called the Humane Society, she told Mel, sooner or later they will rescue the horse. Sooner if the owner gives up the horse, and later if the owner is taken to court. Mel and Grandma rode out every day to see if the horse was still there. One afternoon they saw people in the corral with the horse. Mel called out, Did you come to help the horse? And there they are. They're trying to help the horse. What you think, Bean? What you think? You being good. We're taking him to Lisa's ranch where he could get well, said a man in a blue uniform. I'm Lisa, the woman said. I run the horse rescue ranch. I'm afraid this little gelding has gone hungry for a long time. We persuaded the owner to give him up. I'm glad that someone called the Humane Society about him. Grandma did, said Mel. Because of Mel, said Grandma. He'll get better, won't he? Mel said. I think so, said Lisa. A vet will treat him and will feed and care for him. Don't you think he needs a name, Mel? Let's call him Lucky, Mel said. I want him to have lots of luck. And there they are talking about the horse. Mel felt better when they drove up to the rescue ranch a few weeks later. It looked like a place where horses could be happy. Is that Lucky? Mel shouted. His fly mask sort of hid his eyes. He's not so skinny anymore. And he has a friend. I'll show you that picture right there. He's got something they call a fly mask. And there's a friend in the corral with him. So he's doing a lot better. Flicker showed interest in Lucky as soon as he arrived, Lisa said. At first we kept Lucky alone while he got better. Then we put him in a pasture with Flicker, and they get along fine. Horses are herd animals. They don't like to be alone. But sometimes socializing with a bunch of strangers is hard on a horse that isn't well, and other horses might bully him. That's so sad. If they know a horse is sick or there's something wrong, sometimes they're not real nice to him. He likes to be brushed, doesn't he? From the beginning, Lucky let us handle and groom him. Not all rescue horses will let you, but Lucky was pretty calm, even though he had pain from his infected hoof. He had trouble walking, said Mel. Did you give him medicine? There she is brushing him. Yes, and his hoof is healed. Lisa told Mel that when Lucky came, the vet gave him a thorough examination. Then Lucky had to be wormed, his hooves attended to, and his teeth cared for. He seemed to know we were here to help him. I hope he finds a good home. And there they are, doing all the things they need to do to help him. Yeah. Horses are just like dogs. They have to go to the vet too and get cared for. Only theirs costs a lot more to care for a horse than it does a dog. Mel read the adoption questionnaire and thought, we don't have enough room for Lucky at my house. The backyard is too tiny, and Grandma doesn't even have a backyard. Lucky, why do you cost so much to take care of? She said to the pinto. She didn't know how she could ever own him, but at least for now she could see him. She really loves that horse. Look. Okay, let's see. Are you enjoying this story too, Bean? You like when Mama reads? Do you? Okay, well, you're not looking at the camera. There's the camera right there. A month later, Lucky went to live and work at a horse therapy ranch. Grandma drove Mel to see Lucky. The trainer invited them to watch her work with Lucky. She stood in a round pen with Lucky and rubbed him with a wadded plastic bag. Then she opened the bag and waved it. Lucky stood still. Good boy, said the trainer. Like most horses, Lucky was startled at first when I shook a plastic bag near him. And they're just trying to get him used to different things. They're trying to get him used to sounds and feels and to not be so startled. Are you taking a nap? Nobody can see you. Hold your head up. Nobody can see your little head. After Lucky circled the pen for a while, the trainer hooked the lead to his halter. Would you like to lead him back to pasture? Mel held the leather lead. Lucky matched his pace to Mel's. When Mel walked fast, so did Lucky. When Mel slowed down, Lucky did too. You lead him very well, said the trainer. Have you thought of volunteering to work here? We need people to groom and walk the horses. Mel turned to Grandma. When I visit you, can I be with Lucky? It's a wonderful idea, Grandma said. And there they are, walking with Lucky. My name should be Lucky too. Mel reached up and stroked Lucky's neck. I'm lucky to have found you. And there she had a friend forever. And she could go brush him and work with him at the therapy horse ranch. And did you know there's such a thing as therapy horses as well as therapy dogs? Now, Beanie, let's put Piggy down and sit up here and look. And now we want to tell you a little bit about how to keep your pets safe when you're out walking with them. And this is something that happened to Beanie. We had a pretty close call. But did you know that there's 6 venomous snakes in North Carolina? And the copperheads match the pine straw. And around here we have a lot of pine straw. So if there's a copperhead in the pine straw, it's going to be very, very hard to see it. And I heard that there's been a 75% increase in snake bites since 2018. And so we have to be careful. And if you suspect your pet's been bitten, get him to the vet immediately, because sometimes it could just be a matter of time and to save your dog. But Beanie and I and her daddy were walking, and we Always watch where Beanie walks. I keep my eyes right in front of her feet. And I saw something move. It just didn't look right. As we got closer, it was a snake. And she was about to step on it. And I told her, Daddy, I said, quick, move her. And so we learned from that it's hard to see them until you're right on top of them. So keep your dog or your cat close to you. I don't know, cats probably don't like leashes, but if you've got your pet on a leash, make it a little closer when you're walking in the woods or if you're walking on a trail. You don't have to worry about it so much if you're walking on the sidewalk. But a lot of times we like to walk where there's pine straw and grass because it's cooler on our feet. So just be careful and just kind of watch for your pet takes a step to make sure there's not something there that can hurt her. So that was our story for today. We hope you're having a good time. We miss everybody. Beanie does too. She wants to get back in school and so we can play and have fun with the kids. So we'll get some more books and we'll come back and read you another story. And be kind to each other and love each other. But most important, love your pet. Yes, tell them bye. Bye-bye.